Nityanandam. Today I wanted to make a video for all of the sincere seekers out there that have found Swamiji and are thinking about coming and attending Inner Awakening. If you're thinking about attending Inner Awakening, I can say with utmost certainty, and if you're someone that has decided that, yes, I want enlightenment, I know that this is the purpose of my life, and I'm really ready to pursue this path and make it happen. I can say with utmost certainty that your first real step on this journey towards enlightenment will start by attending Inner Awakening. So I can't say how many enlightened beings there are on this planet right now. I really don't know. What I do know is that Swamiji, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nityananda, is an enlightened being, and he's here right now on this planet Earth. Not only is he here, but he has designed this Inner Awakening program, which is a spiritual retreat which goes on for 23 days. He has designed it in such a way that if you are a sincere seeker, see, one of the things that when we're pursuing enlightenment, the one thing that we have to go beyond, the one thing that we have to understand is the human mind and the nature of the human mind with all of its tricks and blind spots and cunning ways of giving itself life. Inner Awakening is designed in such a way, not only is it tremendously healing for you, physically, psychologically, emotionally, in every possible way, but it's designed in such a way that by looking in and seeing how we've been conditioned from a young age, how we've been conditioned to think the way we think and understand why it is we think the way we think. It makes you understand what you aren't. This might not make sense to a lot of people, but I hope it might click with you. By understanding what we are not, we start to experience what we truly are. So many of the cognitions that we carry unconsciously are entangled and they entertain ideas of impossibility. We have ideas about ourselves which are very limiting. So if I were to ask you to sit down right now and sincerely pen down for just a couple of minutes what all it is you truly believe about yourself on the inside. After penning it all down, and I mean really being sincere, see, how we present ourselves to the world is one thing, but what we really feel about ourselves in our heart of hearts is another thing. Whether it's feeling like we're cowardly or feeling like we're not good enough or whatever it is that is inside our inner space, we're usually operating from this space of unconsciousness. So Inner Awakening is a perfect guided way of moving you. It's kind of that first step in moving you from unconsciousness into consciousness, into being fully conscious. So through these introspective exercises which have come from our ancient Vedic texts, this starts happening. Also through experiencing yoga, traditional yoga, which has come from our ancient agamas, experiencing pure sattvic diet. So there's many things which I won't go too much into. If you are interested in attending Inner Awakening, I'm more than happy to give you more information about it. It's a way of really shaking up the ego from its roots. I know because I experienced it myself. Actually, by practicing the completion technique, which is one of the things which you will be doing in Inner Awakening, I'll leave some links beneath where you can find out more about what is this technique of completion. I was doing it sincerely before I even got to Inner Awakening, and I had this tremendous shift in understanding before I ever got there, before I ever stepped foot in Inner Awakening, and I was like, wow. everything that I have thought about life, my whole perception has been based on how I've been conditioned. It was such a huge click. I can make maybe perhaps another video sharing more about that, but I don't want to drag this out too long. And when you have that same experience, you'll understand. You can kind of see your mind for what it is for the first time. And when that happens, it's such a breakthrough moment. One of the reasons I also recommend Inner Awakening for sincere seekers, like I said, we have Swamiji, who is an enlightened being. He has gone through this whole journey himself, and he's come out the other end. He's attained self-realization, and he's in that space of abiding self-realization, and he's able to share that with the world. Swamiji he's been sharing a lot recently in satsangs that his experiences have come from our ancient Shastras. So he was explaining how we have this system of Shastra pramana. So this is knowledge which has come from our ancient Vedic texts. This knowledge was handed down to ancient rishis, who they themselves achieved this space of enlightenment, and they themselves have written and guided others through their experience of these Shastras, which is then called so Shastra pramana, Apta pramana. I had to think there. Apta pramana is the experience of the ancient rishis. Then we have someone who has experienced for themselves from these teachings. So it's kind of like going down step by step. It then becomes Atma pramana. So it becomes your experience. So Swamiji is someone who has experienced every step of these, from the Shastra pramana, Apta pramana, then Atma pramana. And he's sharing it with us so it can become our own Atma pramana. It can become our own experience. So with so many people out there promising so many different things, there's so many gurus, there's so many self-help books, there's so many, it's virtually, there's a whole world out there just based on these like self-help and enlightenment based on, sitting in a cave, meditating, and all different kinds of things, like all different kinds of energy healings. I don't know anything about these things. All I know is that we have someone in the body right now who is capable of guiding us to achieve the same state that he's in. Not just a satori, not just an experience that comes and goes, but will be there to guide us to the very end, to be in that same space of abiding realization that he is in. I can say that I've lived here now for the past 1 year. I've done my inner awakening in May 2015, and I took sannyas in May last year, 2016. The amount of cognitive shifts that I've had, the amount of experiences that I've had, I don't think I would have had them if Swamiji wasn't here guiding me. So if you have found him, it is the greatest treasure, it is the greatest blessing. Inner awakening is the greatest investment you will ever make in your life. I say it with utmost certainty that it is the biggest leap that you'll be making into, like I said before, into your enlightenment itself, because you need to have a quantum leap. It's not enough just to take baby steps. You don't want to, I know for myself, I certainly don't want to be on this path for the next 10 years just fumbling my way through. And I can safely say, with how much of a transformation I've had in just this 1 year, I'm on the fastest track to get myself where I want to be. So Swamiji is here for all of us. It's definitely a calling, so take heed. Any questions or comments, please comment below, and I will certainly get back to you, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Thank you, Nityananda.